Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another one of Ask Reddit. Today we're gonna ask Reddit some mystery questions, scary, funny, etc., etc., etc. Mostly scary though. If you guys are looking for scary, this is the right channel to look for. Here we go. Hey Reddit, what was something creepy, scary for you as a child, and that still bothers you to this day?
My brother and I lived with our mum, and one day she left the house buying cigarettes. Back then we were around the age of 4 to 6, I'm the older one. After 30 minutes my brother gets fuzzy about our mother not appearing. After around half an hour the doorbell rings. We were allowed to use the talk back since we set up passwords in between family members. Guy answers, saying he has a package. I explained he should ring for a neighbor, I don't want to wake up my mother. Also he couldn't answer how big the package was. Also he insisted that he won't ring the neighbor and keeps asking if our mother is really at home. He rings for several minutes. My brother and I fought in front of the door, because he wanted to let that guy in. At some point where he's still ringing, I check on the window for a delivery car, they usually parked right in the curve, nothing to see. It gets quiet, my brother calms down. All of a sudden we hear knocking on the doorbell rings again. I'm silently almost beat my brother into the next room, telling him to close the door. Using the spy hole, there's a guy trying to watch through same spy hole. All of a sudden I heard scratching noises on the door, freezing in total panic, ready to die, not able to think about calling the police. At some point everything simply stops, I hear him leaving the hallway, silence. After plus 2 hours our mother comes back, asking why the door and the keyhole is completely scratched up. Sure enough no neighbor had a package and she didn't call the police. I mean, nothing happened in the end, but I'm pretty sure that she told the wrong people that she left us alone while buying cigarettes, or that someone she knows spied on her. And leaving us alone for such a long time, putting us in a threatening situation, is one of the earlier signs that I should have left way earlier. This whole event still bothers me today. Edit, added the part about him insisting to not ring the neighbors / asking for our mother.
Jesus fucking Christ, I did not expect this part of the story. This story is pretty dark. God damn, okay, so wow, the door was scratched up. What the hell? That is like I thought the guy was like not just shady. But I guess he's also psychopathic. Oh my god, dude. I'm glad you guys are okay. Oh my god. Oh man. Okay. Hey Reddit, do you have any more answers about this?
As a child, I had spectrophobia, also known as catoptrophobia. This, to put simply, is a fear of reflections. For me, mirrors. To understand this story, you need to get to know my big brother. He's 11 years older than me and we look nothing alike. His skin is dark, eyes big and black, head of tight black curls reaching beyond his shoulders. He also almost always wear black, and when we were little, well, when I was little, there wouldn't be an almost. He'd always wear black. He liked to scare his younger sister because, boys will be boys, I guess. I was always pretty short. I wouldn't really see the mirror when brushing my teeth, and if I wanted to check whether I had toothpaste left on my mouth, I had to climb to my tippy toes and hold onto the sink. That's when I'd see my big brother. Standing behind me in the mirror, his hair covering his face, him looking like a death metal version of the Ring's Samara Morgan. Sometimes he'd stand in the door, it was a tiny bathroom, and switch off the lights the second I raised myself to see the mirror. Sometimes he'd start screaming. Sometimes he'd reach out to me like a zombie would. And he'd do this often. Then one day I realized I can see his reflection in the tiles, so he didn't surprise me anymore when I looked in the mirror. I'd be super cocky about this, so he decided to call it quits on this type of amusement. Keep in mind I must have been 4, maybe 5 at the time. Then came primary school and a girl told me about Bloody Mary. Great. She said Bloody Mary will make your nose bleed, and that's about it. I asked my brother about it. He said that's bullshit, that Mary will scratch your eyes out slowly and painfully and that she'd get satisfaction from it because she was bad. Then he turned to his wall, which was lined with 3 huge mirrors that covered the whole thing, and he said it. Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. I cried and ran away screaming. I was 6 or 7 at best at the time and I already didn't like mirrors because of some horror movie and thanks to what he used to do in the bathroom. For the next few years, I'd have the ridiculous fear of mirrors follow me. Couldn't go to the bathroom at night, but not because the dark scared me, no. The mirror in the hallway did. I only got out of this stupid phobia when I was 14, but I'm 18 now and mirrors still make me uncomfortable. Although now they only do in the dark.
Okay, motherfucker, this makes me really pissed off. First of all, boys will not be boys. Assholes will be fucking assholes. And your brother was a complete piece of shit. I hate this guy. This guy is a dumbass. He's a dumbass. I'm really mad. I'm so sorry you were treated that way. And no, boys won't be boys. That wasn't a boy. That was like a psychotic person who enjoys the satisfaction off of other people's fear and guilt. Okay, Jesus Christ. Okay, Reddit. Hey, Reddit. Do you have one more answer for this shit?
As a child, I was able to see ghosts, spirits, whatever you want to call them. I would wake up, and they would be sitting cross-legged in front of me, sitting on my bed, would never float, watching me. They also would be outside my windows, or would stand in the corner of my room. To get rid of them I would often pull the sheets over my head, or turn on some sort of light, even my tablet light would do enough, so that I would turn it off, and they would be gone. The human spirits would never move. I had a queen from the early 1800s stand by my desk. She wore a huge crown, that sat on a head of light curls, that were tucked into some sort of bun hairstyle. And her dress faded into my bed. It was really strange, and it's sort of hard to explain. My best memory of was the fact I was able to speak to my father, who passed away when I was around 10, but the only issue was, he would only turn up when I went and stayed the night at my grandma's. Which I didn't do often, because she doesn't live in the same town, and the first time my father turned up in my room, I had a huge panicky attack thing, and my grandma rushed in and turned on the light, and calmed me down. Another story was, my mom has owned around 4 cats, one was a white and gray cat, that got killed when my mom by mistake put the garage door on her neck. I watched that same cat run around my room, before disappearing out my window. That was closed. How I knew it was that cat, was my mother said she had a small tick in her ear, that it would twitch uncontrollably, and the cat wasn't one of my cats I had at the time, because it was almost moved like a slowed video effect, it was pale, and the cat's movements seemed to lag behind it slightly. Again, it's slightly harder to explain. I ended up being unable to sleep, and went to a medium, which was able to contact my dad, and he was able to stop random spirits from popping up in my room. I also did a thing called a golden light. I would close my eyes and imagine a golden light around me. It sounds dumb, but I did it for a few nights, and stopped seeing anything for around 4 years. If I'm able to focus enough, I can see little bits now and then, of spirits, auras, etc., but nothing like it was when I was younger. Can someone who's a medium or has been through this tell me what they used to get it to stop, and or did they grow out of it? Also, am I the only one who used the golden light, or do a lot of people that are able to see spirits use that?
Okay, first of all, wow. This was a post that only had like 2 upvotes. 2 upvotes. And this was a really, really good post. I really liked it. Very underrated because we don't know how to give you, advice on that. I just want to tell you that I myself believe in spirits as well. I do think they exist since there's so much proof and so much evidence of them existing and stuff, and like my friends are telling me about ghost stories, and I have had ghost stories before. There was this one part where there's a bang on my door, somebody went in front of my bedroom door and like hit it really fucking hard, like really hard. And I was like, I jolted up and I checked the door, and nobody was there. Like the hallway is completely dark, and so I looked out at my clock, and it was 3:00 a.m. I know this because I didn't sleep the rest of the day. I actually stayed up, and it was a school day, and I know this. I know it happened. You know, there's no way the school day couldn't have happened. I told all my friends about this, and they tell me that you've told me about this story, you know, on your school day, and you looked really sleep deprived. So yes, ghosts do exist. At least I think they do.